Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe, and I'm a weapon of mass instruction. Alright, today at the range I kind of got pissed off at some customers because they couldn't figure out how to load their guns after I just told them how to do it. How to load and unload and stuff like that. So, tonight we're going to go back to basics. Alright, this is actually something I haven't actually covered yet in my previous episodes. How to load and unload your gun. And a couple of tactical applications, all right, tactical and combat reloads, things that you can learn to do inside and outside of your home. Because, in general, you don't want to have just one magazine of ammo. You want two or more. There's no such thing as too much ammunition. All right, I just went ahead and cleared out my pistol. I'm going to be using that as well as empty magazines tonight. I hope somebody doesn't break in and try to rape and pillage the household while I'm filming this episode here, because I have literally now no ammunition. One moment. Just in case. Okay. So it's actually really, really easy to load your gun and unload your gun. For the moment, I'm actually going to go ahead and load some rounds into one magazine. You know, a lot of people have trouble understanding how it is that pistols work, firearms in general. You know, and it is tough. You know, this isn't a natural thing. You know, it's not something you were born with usually. You know, if you were born with something like this, and you should already know how to load it and unload it. And it's like second nature for a lot of people out there. Just bought their first pistol, you know, maybe just picked up a firearm for the first time in their life, you know, and they have no idea what to do. Think of it this way. Loading your ammunition is just like basically feeding a printer. You know, you put all the paper into the load tray, and then it prints and it comes out the other end. It's pretty much the same thing, you know. The printer takes care of all the printing and stuff automatically. That stuff you don't have to do. All you have to do is put the paper in. Put the ink cartridges in. Same thing here, okay? Self-loading pistols generally have a magazine well inside of the grip. See that little thing there? Alright, so when you're loading, what I like to do is I like to keep my gun in my shooting hand, alright? I'm a lefty, so I always keep my gun in my left hand. In most cases, you're going to load for the first time with that slide closed, alright? All you have to do is index that magazine just like this. Slide it right up into that magazine well, and slap it into place. You don't have to go hard with it, but you also don't want to baby it. I see a lot of, I saw this guy at the range one time, and he just kind of, and it wasn't going in. And he just kept it. And so I basically snatched the gun from him, and I was like, look, you know, this thing is built to survive combat. You know, he was using the AR-15. So this is what you need to do. You need to muscle the gun, and put that magazine where you need it, and load it, and all that stuff, and that's really all you need to do, okay? So what I did was, I took that source of ammunition, I put it in the magazine well. I can't show you really a cross-section, but pretty much that first round is going to be sitting just underneath the chamber. When you pull that slide back, it's hard to see, but with your own pistol, you could take a look at this. Inside of there, alright, there's going to be a little edge that's going to catch the top edge of your first round of ammunition, and literally strip it right off the top of that magazine, and it's going to go right up into the chamber. Let me grab that before I start losing my freaking carry ammo. Alright, and that's pretty much all you need to do. You pull that slide back, release it. Alright, do what I like to call the slingshot. Alright, what you don't want to do is what they do in the movies, where you pull it back and ride it forward. Let me see if I can simulate that for you. Alright, well, my pistol's nice, and it doesn't actually do that. But with 1911s, some Glocks, all sorts of different pistols out there, if you ride that slide forward, or the action forward in the case of a rifle, it's going to jam up that first round, and they're not going to get a good feed. It's not going to fire for you, okay? And then you're going to sit there wondering why your freaking gun didn't work, alright? So you slap that ammunition in there, pull back, release, just like that, alright? That's pretty much all there is to it. And that just took the first round out of that magazine, popped it in the chamber. You see that chrome right there? All right, that was what I like to do. What I like to call a brass check. All right, all you have to do is pull that action open very slightly so that you can see the shell casing of whatever round of ammunition you've got in there, and that tells you you're loaded. Some pistols also have a loaded chamber indicator. All right, that little red right there tells me that I am set and ready to kill. Be careful, external magazine right here. If you don't remember it, it's going to be sitting there cocked in single action mode, ready to fire. That is, if you load with that weapon off of safe, which is what I just did. I always flip and do that. You know why? Because I carry it off of safe. So I have to decock it, and then I have to flip it back off of safe. Why do I carry it this way? Well, when you draw, you don't want to have to fuck around with the safety lever. Okay, if you forget about that safety, and now it's on safe, and you go to fire, oh God, and then you get shot. You know, because you don't have time to think about that. So I leave it off of safe, because I don't want to have to think about it if I need to draw and fire. So that's how to load your pistol. Unloading, very simple. Find that magazine release button. On most pistols, it's going to be on the left side, right? Actually, I believe on this one, I may be able to change it to the opposite side. I got to check on that. Probably not, though. All right, find that magazine release. All you have to do is push that button. Magazine should fall right out. If it doesn't, check that magazine. Maybe you're not using the right one. Maybe there's an edge on it that's catching inside of that mag well. Right, that could happen. Third-party magazines might not always be made to specs. And then when you're unloading, always check that chamber. Make sure it's free of any obstructions or live rounds. There we go. I just ejected that live. Do a visual inspection, touch inspection if you're able to, and then bam, you're unloaded. So that's how to load and unload your pistol. Very handy to use at the range. All right. Okay, so self-defense time. There's two kinds of ways I like to reload. All right. There's the tactical reload, and that's useful for situations where you've got a lull in the fight. All right. Two guys break into the house. One guy's ducking for cover. All right, and the other guy just went down. You just shot him, and he's either dead or bleeding out. All right. So a tactical reload is, like I said, for a lull in the fight. So you just went blam, blam, blam. You killed the first guy. You still have a couple rounds left in that magazine, but you want a fresh mag, okay? I'm pretending that this is a fresh one full of ammo. Lull in the fight. If there's nobody shooting at you, make sure you're under cover. And then all you have to do is drop that depleted magazine, grab your fresh magazine from wherever your source is, and pop it into place. Make sure to retain that depleted magazine, all right? Magazine retention is important, because if you run out of ammo in this fresh magazine, there's still 2 or 3 rounds here, you might need it. All right, you might have to do a combat reload back to that first mag. You don't know. All right, so don't waste magazines. Don't freaking just drop them on the floor thinking you'll get them later, because you never know. All right, just keep it on you, because it's better to have it there. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It would sure suck to be, 3/4 of the way through the firefight and then go, oh shit, I left my other magazine in the kitchen. Now I have to freaking run over there under fire and grab it again. All right, that's no good. So that's your tactical reload. Useful for situations where there's nobody actually shooting at you for the moment, and you've got that moment to spare. A combat reload is a little bit different. A combat reload is when you run dry. There's nothing left over in your gun. All right, what generally happens, got that 7. What generally happens is when you shoot that last round of ammunition out of your magazine, it's going to cause that slide to lock back like that. All right, that's the gun's way of telling you, hey, asshole, I'm empty. Fill me up again. All right, that's what she said. So combat reload, same sort of deal. All right, drop that empty, retain it. All right, grab that full, and you can either use your slide release, which I don't recommend, because your other option, you could do this lefty or righty with any freaking pistol except for high points. Just pull back and release. Use that slingshot action every single time you load. Get that muscle memory, like I mentioned earlier. You're going to sacrifice a little bit of speed, but at the same time, you could pick up a bad guy's gun and his extra ammo and freaking do a combat reload with his gun with just as much speed as with your gun. You don't have to fuck around finding his, like Sig Sauers. Yeah, if he's got a Sig, you're fucked, and you're trying to find that freaking, that slide lock, slide release lever. It's ridiculous on those. I just rack it, and you're good. that's your tactical and combat reloads, how to load and unload your pistol. I hope you enjoyed watching it tonight. I know it was kind of on the fly. I tried to keep it short and sweet. All right. Next week I'll probably have something a little bit more substantial. I'm buying myself a rifle very shortly, so I might be able to show that off for people and show you some other stuff involving more of a rifle or long arm in nature. But yeah, we're moving forward. We're moving forward. We got the momentum. We got to carry the fight. All right. Leave some comments in the comment section below. Go ahead and hit that little like button if you like what you see. Subscribe if you want to see more. All right. I enjoy making this, so I'm going to keep on doing it whether or not I get viewers. Good night, everybody. Again, my name is Joe, and I'm a weapon of mass instruction.